A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic escalation of the ongoing battle over Title IX, the Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against the state of Maine, challenging its policy that allows transgender girls to compete in girls' sports. This legal action, announced by Attorney General Pam Bondi, comes amid threats to cut federal education funding and has sparked a fierce confrontation between the Republican administration and Maine's Democratic governor, Janet Mills. At a press conference, Bondi was flanked by Riley Gaines, a former collegiate swimmer and prominent conservative commentator who has emerged as a vocal opponent of transgender athletes in women's sports. Bondi stated, "The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety." The lawsuit alleges that Maine's policy violates Title IX, the federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in education, by allowing transgender girls to compete against cisgender girls. The Trump administration's position is that this policy undermines fair competition and poses risks to the safety and well-being of female athletes. Bondi outlined plans to seek a court order to halt Maine's current policy and potentially recover federal funding that the state has received. Despite the administration's aggressive stance, the NCAA president has indicated that the number of transgender collegiate athletes is minimal, suggesting that the issue may not be as widespread as portrayed. The legal action follows a tense encounter at the White House earlier this year, where Governor Mills directly challenged President Trump over the administration's stance on transgender athletes. Mills has flatly rejected the administration's interpretation of Title IX, asserting that it does not prohibit schools from allowing transgender girls to participate in women's sports. In an April letter, Maine's Assistant Attorney General, Sarah Forster, stated, "Nothing in Title IX prohibits schools from allowing transgender girls and women to participate on girls' and women's sports teams." The lawsuit is part of a broader federal crackdown on transgender rights, as the Trump administration has taken steps to redefine sex in a way that would impact transgender athletes significantly. In February, Trump signed an executive order barring transgender individuals from participating in women's sports, and the administration has also moved to deny visas to transgender athletes seeking to compete in the U.S. This legal battle has significant implications not only for Maine, but also for the future of transgender rights in sports across the country. The administration's efforts to strip Maine of its $250 million K-12 education budget and free school lunch funding have been met with resistance, as a federal judge temporarily blocked these actions following Maine's own lawsuit. Governor Mills has criticized the federal government's approach as overreach, questioning the rationale behind cutting essential funding for a small number of transgender athletes. The dispute has sparked a national conversation about the rights of transgender individuals and the complexities of balancing these rights with concerns about fairness in women's sports. As the legal proceedings unfold, both sides are preparing for a protracted battle that could set important precedents for the rights of transgender athletes and the interpretation of Title IX. The lawsuit represents just one of many legal challenges that are likely to arise as the Trump administration continues to push its agenda on this contentious issue. With tensions running high and the stakes increasing, the outcome of this case could have lasting effects on the landscape of sports and education in America. As we await further developments, one thing is clear: the fight over transgender rights in sports is far from over, and both sides are gearing up for what promises to be a contentious legal showdown. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.